Good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Flores. It is the 9th of November, 2025, fall semester 2025. Criminal Justice Technology is the course with Professor Dobrin as the professor. Here we're at the front page of the Florida Department of Corrections, and we can see that we have different options here, but the one that we're interested in is the offender search. So we'll go ahead and do that. And according to the particular assignment, we need to look for an absconder. And so we'll do that. As you can see, when you click offender search, you have a number of different databases, each with its own respected information. But the one that we're mostly interested in is the Absconder and Fugitive Information Search, which is down here. So we'll go ahead and click that. And I went with the last name I can come up with in my head, the first one that popped up. So that was Smith. So we'll go ahead and type in Smith, and then we'll just use C as the first name. And so we'll go ahead and submit request. Because I already know which offender I'm looking for, I can we'll skip the whole looking for offenders part and go straight to number 25 because that's the offender's number. And here we're gonna click on Christopher James Smith. I pretty much went down the list starting from 1 all the way up until him. He seemed to have the more interesting case, because when I searched his name up, I found some more interesting things about his case, which was pretty cool. Not what he did was pretty cool, but being able to find him immediately, or searching up his name, and then the case coming up, all of it coming up at the same time was relatively quick, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But as you can see, his current status, he is an absconder. If we go down here, we can see the charges he was booked in. It looks like he got an aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. And then here, this is what piqued my interest, was the escape. Now, when I first saw this, I thought maybe, hey, he escaped prison or jail, or like some kind of form of police custody. So I thought, maybe I'd look into him a little more. This happened on the 2nd of October of 2021, 4 years ago. And so to find out a little more as to when he absconded, it was actually pretty recently. So clicking this Vine link here, we can see exactly some updates. And the last custody date that they, or the last time they had him in custody was October 31st of 2025. That's less than 2 weeks ago, or maybe even a week. So I thought that was very recent. And then everything else here, you can find the supervising officer. If you see him around or something like that, you can report him to a supervising officer. They'll make him a reporting agency here. Probably wouldn't recommend calling, but anything helps, I suppose. But after so because my curiosity, this escape charge piqued my curiosity, so I went ahead and took the liberty of looking him up. So you can see Christopher James Smith of Port St. Lucie. And it's the first couple of news articles that pop up. WPTV, WPEC. It shows of a canine, and apparently Christopher James Smith, he kicked this working canine a couple times in the face, injuring the dog, and that kind of told me that he didn't escape from prison or anything, but he escaped from police custody. So it was actually interesting to see that the charge that they gave him wasn't like fleeing or eluding arrest, which I thought would be the charge, but it's escape. And I thought escape meant like escaping jail or prison. But you know, that kind of like, well, that kind of all explains it. If you look at the timeline, October 2nd, yeah, pretty much matches up with the time that they have, or the date that they have on the FDC website, the absconder list. But it goes into detail, you know, about officers were dispatched to the scene, about a loud noise complaint, they say a felony warrant, revoking pretrial release, aggravated with a deadly weapon. We see that here. Yeah. So, and I wasn't too sure because, you know, a lot of people could have the name Christopher James Smith, all of which are very common names, and there's no picture of him. So, using the dates and then the information from the news report, you can kind of match the information with what they have on the website, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, we got a good look at him, but this is the inmate in question. But it's good, good to see that the canine was negative for any fractures, and the dingo was given medicine for soft tissue injury. Yeah, as you can see, it says he remains locked up, but we all know, according to this website, that he isn't locked up anymore. He's actually he absconded after 3 weeks of being incarcerated. Yeah, they let him go on probation, and they don't know of his whereabouts since then. But that was my offender of choice. I hope this video helps. Thank you so much. Have a great day.